Being convinced I was at step three, which is that I decided to turn my will and my life over to God as I understood Him. Just what does that mean? And what do I do? The first requirement is that I be convinced that any life run on self-will can hardly be a success. On that basis, I am almost always in collision with something or somebody, even though my motives are good. Most people try to live by self-propulsion. I'm like an actor who wants to run the whole show, forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in my own way. If my arrangements would only stay put, if only people would do as I wished, the show would be great. Everybody, including myself, would be pleased. Life would be wonderful. In trying to make these arrangements, I may sometimes be quite virtuous. I may be kind, considerate, patient, generous, even modest and self-sacrificing. On the other hand, I may be mean, egotistical, selfish, and dishonest. But as with most humans, I'm more likely to have varied traits. What usually happens, the show doesn't come off very well. I begin to think life doesn't treat me right. I decide to exert myself more. I become, on the next occasion, still more demanding or gracious as the case may be. Still, the play does not suit me. Admitting I may be somewhat at fault, I am sure that other people are more to blame. I become angry, indignant, self-pitying. What is my basic trouble? Am I not really a self-seeker even when trying to be kind? Am I not a victim of the delusion that I can wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world if I only manage well? Is it not evident to all the rest of the players that these are the things I want? And do not my actions make each of them wish to retaliate, snatching all they can get out of the show? Am I not, even in my best moments, a producer of confusion rather than harmony? I'm self-centered, egocentric, as people like to call it nowadays. I'm like the retired businessman who lolls in the Florida sunshine in the winter, complaining of the sad state of the nation, the minister who sighs over the sins of the 20th century, the politician and reformer who are sure all would be utopia if the rest of the world would only behave, the outlaw safecracker who thinks society has wronged him, and the alcoholic who's lost all and is locked up. Whatever my protestations, am I not mostly concerned with myself, my resentments, or my self-pity? Selfishness, self-centeredness, that I think is the root of my troubles. Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity, I step on the toes of my fellows and they retaliate. Sometimes they hurt me, seemingly without provocation, but I invariably find that sometime in the past I have made decisions based on self, which later placed me in a position to be hurt. So my troubles, I think, are basically of my own making. They arise out of myself, and I, as an alcoholic, am an extreme example of self-will run riot, though I usually don't think so. Above everything, I must be rid of this selfishness. I must, or it kills me. God makes that possible, and there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self without His aid. I may have had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but I could not live up to them, even though I would have liked to. Neither could I reduce my self-centeredness much by wishing or trying on my own power. I had to have God's help. This is the how and why of it. First of all, I had to quit playing God. It didn't work. Next, I decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be my director. He's the principal, I am His agent. He is the Father, and I am His child. Most good ideas are simple, and this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arch through which I passed to freedom. When I sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed. I had a new employer. Being all-powerful, He provided what I needed if I kept close to Him and performed His work well. Established on such a footing, I became less and less interested in myself, my little plans and designs. More and more I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life. As I felt new power flow in, as I enjoyed peace of mind, as I discovered I could face life successfully, as I became conscious of His presence, I began to lose my fear of today, tomorrow, or the hereafter. I was reborn. I was now at step 3. Many of us said to our Maker as we understood Him, God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. I thought well before taking this next step, making sure I was ready, that I could at last abandon myself utterly to him. I found it very desirable to take this spiritual step with an understanding person, such as my spouse, best friend, or spiritual advisor. But it's better to meet God alone than with one who might misunderstand. The wording was, of course, quite optional, as long as I expressed the idea, voicing it without reservation. This was only a beginning, though if honestly and humbly made, an effect, sometimes a very great one, was felt at once. Next, I launched out on a course of vigorous action, the first step of which was personal house cleaning, something I had never attempted. Though my decision was a vital and crucial step, it could have little permanent effect unless at once followed by a strenuous effort to face and be rid of the things in myself which had been blocking me. My liquor was but a symptom, so I had to get down to causes and conditions. On awakening, I think about the 24 hours ahead. I consider my plans for the day. Before I begin, I ask God to direct my thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Under these conditions, I can employ my mental faculties with assurance, for after all, God gave me brains to use. My thought life is placed on a much higher plane when my thinking is cleared of wrong motives. In thinking about my day, I may face indecision. I may not be able to determine which course to take. Here I ask God for inspiration, an intuitive thought or a decision, and I relax and take it easy. I don't struggle. I'm often surprised how the right answers come after I've tried this for a while. What used to be a hunch or the occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. Being still inexperienced and having just made conscious contact with God, it's not probable that I'm going to be inspired at all times. I might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, I find my thinking will, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. I come to rely on it. I usually conclude my period of meditation with a prayer that I be shown all through the day what my next step is to be, that I be given whatever I need to take care of such problems. I ask especially for my freedom from self-will, and am careful to make no request for myself only. I may ask for myself, however, if others will be helped. I'm careful never to pray for my own selfish ends. I've wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. I can easily see why. If circumstances warrant, I ask my spouse or friends to join me in morning meditation. If I belong to a religious denomination which requires a definite morning devotion, I attend to that also. If I'm not a member of a religious body, I sometimes select and memorize a few set prayers which emphasize the principles I've been discussing. There are many helpful books as well. Suggestions about these may be obtained from my priest, minister, or rabbi. I try to be quick to see where religious people are right and make use of what they offer. As I go through the day, I pause when agitated or doubtful, and I ask for the right thought or action. I constantly remind myself that I'm no longer running the show, humbly saying to myself many times each day, "Thy will be done." I am then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decisions. I become much more efficient. I do not tire so easily, for I'm not burning up energy foolishly as I did when I was trying to arrange life to suit myself. It works. It really does. I'm undisciplined, so I let God discipline me in the simple way I have just outlined. But this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. The next step is to live it out. Today I feel I've used up my right to chemical peace of mind. It helped me a great deal to become convinced that my alcoholism was a disease, not a moral issue, that I'd been drinking as a result of compulsion even though I had not been aware of the compulsion at that time, and that sobriety was not a matter of willpower. The people of AA had something that looked much better than what I had, but I was afraid to let go of what I had in order to try something new. There was a certain sense of security in the familiar. At last, acceptance proved to be the key to my drinking problem. After I'd been around AA for 7 months, tapering off alcohol and pills, not finding the program working very well, I was finally able to say, "Okay, God, It's true that I, of all people, strange as it may seem, and even though I didn't give my permission, really am an alcoholic of sorts. And it's all right with me. Now what am I going to do about it? When I stopped living in the problem, I began living in the answer. The problem went away. From that moment on, I have not had a single compulsion to drink. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I'm disturbed, it's because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of life unacceptable to me, and I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, or thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing, happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world, as on what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and all men and women merely players. He forgot to mention that I was the chief critic. I was always able to see the flaw in every person, every situation, and I was always glad to point it out, because I knew you wanted perfection just as I did. AA and acceptance have taught me that there is a bit of good in the worst of us and a bit of bad in the best of us, that we're all children of God and that we each have a right to be here. When I complain about myself or about you, I'm complaining about God's handiwork. I'm saying that I know better than God. Perhaps the best thing of all for me is to remember that my serenity is inversely proportional to my expectations. The higher my expectations of others, the lower my serenity becomes. I can watch my serenity levels rise when I discard my expectations. But then my rights try to move in. They too can force my serenity level down. I have to discard my rights as well as my expectations by asking myself, how important is it really? How important is it compared to my serenity, my emotional sobriety? When I place more value on my serenity and sobriety than on anything else, I can maintain them at a higher level, at least for the time being. Acceptance was the key to my relationship with God today. I never just sit and do nothing while waiting for Him to tell me what to do. Rather, I do whatever is in front of me to be done, and I leave the results up to Him. However it turns out, that's God's will for me. I must keep my magic magnifying mind on my acceptance and off my expectations, for my serenity is directly proportional to my level of acceptance. When I remember this, I can see that I've never had it so good. Thank God for AA. This thought brings me to step 10, which suggests that I continue to take personal inventory and set right any new mistakes as I go along. I vigorously commenced this way of living as I cleaned up the past. I've entered the world of spirit. My next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. I continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, I ask God at once to remove them. I discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if I have harmed anyone. Then I resolutely turn my thoughts to someone I can help. Love and tolerance of others is my code. And I've ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol, for by this time sanity has returned. I'll seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, I recoil from it as from a hot flame. I react sanely and normally, and I find that this has happened automatically. I see that my new attitude towards liquor has been given to me without any thought or effort on my part. Just comes. That's the miracle of it. And I'm not fighting it. Neither am I avoiding temptation. I feel as though I've been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. I've not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for me. I'm neither cocky nor afraid. That's my experience. That is how I react so long as I keep in fit spiritual condition. It's easy to let up on this spiritual program of action and rest on my laurels. I'm headed for trouble if I do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. I'm not cured of alcoholism. What I really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of my spiritual condition. Every day is a day when I must carry the vision of God's will into all my activities. How can I best serve Thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with me constantly. I can exercise my willpower along this line all I wish. It's the proper use of the will. Much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration, and direction from Him who has all knowledge and power. If I've carefully followed directions, I've begun to sense the flow of His Spirit into me. To some extent, I've become God conscious. I have begun to develop this vital sixth sense, but I must go further, and that means more action.